And there you go, guys. You can see right there. You can actually see he's got his hemipene in right now. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the vlog. I hope the start of your day is absolutely incredible. As you can hear, my voice is still a little bit messed up, but I am feeling a lot better and my energy is slowly coming back, which is great. Today, it's going to be all about the skinks. Not skanks, skinks. That's right. Blue-tongued skinks from Australia and Indonesia. We are going to start breeding them today. I am super excited about our potential. I'm going to show you not only what we are doing, but I'll also show you some of the amazing animals that we've got going on. Oh my God, these are live-bearing little skinks that are going to be crazy. So here in another 3 or 4 months, hopefully we'll have a ton of babies because I know you guys are always asking about them. What do you say we have an incredible day together? Push all your problems aside. Let's just enjoy this next 12 or 15 minutes together. Let me know in the comments how you guys are doing. By the way, another thing I'd like to know, can you tell me where you guys are from? I'm always reading your comments and I'd like to kind of get an idea of where you're from. It means the world to me. And while you're down there, can you smash that like button for me? Smash it for me to try to get better. How's that sound? Let's go ahead and get this day started. Figure I'm going to check up on a couple of the animals that we put together. Again, the breeding season is finally underway here at BHV. I cannot be more excited. It is so awesome. Let's go ahead and see if the womas are doing anything. Let's get a little peek in there. Oh, look at it. Look at. You can see that male right there. You can see his tail is trying to breed that female right now. Look at, he's like positioned, and you can actually see he's even spurring a little bit. So I would think I'm gonna go ahead and leave them alone. I bet you they'll be hooked up later today. Let's go ahead and check the carpet python real quick. Nope, she's all alone. So, you know, he was actually starting to go peak, and that's one thing about snakes, is when a male snake is starting to shed, he typically won't breed. Sometimes when he's coming out of shed, he'll breed, but when he starts to go blue, he pretty much doesn't. The only reason I put him in is to kind of just get things mixed up. Sometimes putting a male in will help a female start to develop follicles, and I'll talk more about that over the next months or so, about my philosophy behind how to breed things. But I also want to check all the ball pythons too. I've just been opening up a lot of cages, just seeing what breeding is going on. You can kind of see this is what courtship looks like, much like the Woma python. The male is kind of riding the female. He's kind of just doing some stuff with his tail. So I think in no time we're going to start seeing more and more locks, but I'm going to continue to look and see if we find anything yet. Again, it's really early, so I'm not expecting much, but every now and then you get lucky and you get one or two. So if I find one, I'll definitely show you guys. All right, so this isn't a lock, but holy cow, look at how bright that animal is right there. Oh my goodness, that thing is absolutely crazy. And that's just literally a pastel Enchi banana, but holy cow, it's really cool. And next to that cinnamon pastel, it looks even brighter. Okay, these guys are trying to breed as well. You can see the male is definitely wrapping his tail and riding that female, so we're definitely seeing the early stages of breeding with a handful of animals, and I've seen quite a few kind of, again, the males riding the back. So I think it's about time. I think things are going to definitely start breeding here really quick. There were no actual hookups yet today, but again, we're just getting started, so it's not that surprising. I did want to jump onto the blue-tongued skinks now because I've got to go through, start making up kind of what we want to breed to what, and then we're actually going to put some together today. I'm going to be honest with you, it's pretty savage. I mean, the males just kind of grab the female violently and just kind of breed her. I mean, it's not something that looks very friendly for sure, but let's go ahead and just look at some animals. We'll get some ideas of what to breed, and then Jessica and myself will come down and we'll actually try to breed some of them. Guys, so we are filming a really funny video for Noah's channel, all about what you need to know to become a great snake breeder. Noah, what's your number one tip?
Number one tip is you have to have long hair if you guys want to be a professional snake breeder.
That's true. I'm going to put the link in the description. You can learn all about the secret tips that Noah has. All right, so let me kind of get started on just what we're trying to do this year. We're actually trying to breed specific things together to try to really kind of just get certain color phases, right? This happens to be what they call a coffee northern, and it's not that much different than a normal northern, other than the fact that you have that kind of rich chocolate color on its back, and this is a polygenic morph. So again, this is over generations continuing to breed the most brown animal together to get this beautiful animal. So we have a good group of these guys. We are excited to hopefully produce more of them. And then there's the caramel or hypo northerns, and these breed true through as well. So we're going the opposite direction in these, whereas the coffees are really rich and have some beautiful contrast. These guys almost have no contrast, so I'm excited to see what this one has, because I think over generations of breeding the best caramels together and just kind of breeding them into other things, this is going to be a really cool mutation in my opinion. And then you have the Turner white stuff, which is really amazing. These guys are born almost normal looking, and as they get bigger they turn whiter and whiter. They don't go completely white, but some of them certainly get really light and have such amazing color and pattern to them. So again, the Turner white is something that I believe that over generations, if we can continue to breed the best Turner whites to the best Turner whites, we're going to eventually get almost a white blue tongue skink. And we start getting into the sunrise and sunset stuff. Now the sunset stuff is basically, again, polygenically bred to produce the orangest animals, and the sunrise is bred to produce all of these yellows. I mean, look at how amazing that is. And again, a lot of the blue tongues that we work with are polygenics. We do have a couple recessive mutations like Hypo Easterns and stuff like that, but for the most part, the majority of our stuff is line bred. Now there are some albinos and different things like that starting to get into this country and starting to be bred. For now, I'm kind of staying away from them. I don't want to get too deep into it, to be totally honest with you, but for now I'm just going to stay away from them, let some other people work that project. Down the road I might get into some of the melanistics and albinos and lavenders and all kinds of cool stuff, but for now I'll stick with these animals because they're absolutely incredible and I feel a little bit more comfortable with them. And this just gives you kind of an idea of another sunrise and just how each animal is going to be a little bit different. We have some really good sunrise stuff and some really good sunset stuff that I'm excited to breed this year. And look at how amazing that is. And this hopefully will be my stud male right here, sunrise. I mean, take a look at the yellow in that animal. I mean, even its head is extremely yellow. This thing is crazy. Hopefully he's going to breed, because if he does, he's going to father a handful of litters that are going to be outrageous. And this would be considered the sunset stuff. As you can see, it's just got a little more orange to it, not quite as yellow. The sunset and sunrise stuff is actually very closely related. A lot of the animals come out of the exact same breedings, but you can just see this one has a little bit more orange to it. Man, these things are incredible, and we've outcrossed the heck out of them, so we can hopefully produce some really strong ones, because the sunset line was a little bit weak. I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of people were breeding and only getting 1 or 2 good babies per litter just because they were so inbred. So with all this new outbred stuff, we should get some really strong, vibrant babies. I realize a lot of the skinks I'm showing you are pretty similar, but they have just little differences that we're looking for. So I just wanted to show you this one. This again kind of falls right in between that sunrise and sunset. It's got the beautiful yellows, but it has enough orange where I can probably breed it to a sunset and produce some really beautiful babies. Now this is one of our males that represents a completely different line. This actually comes from Jeff Green, and it actually was super red as a baby, and when it was about 1 year old, it was unbelievably red. Now that it's 2.5 years old, it's kind of went to a pink color, but it still has that red line in it. So we're breeding it to some other females that are really high red. So we're going for the high yellows with the sunrise, the high orange with the sunsets, and then the red animals with this line. So again, there's so many great skinks this year. I just hope we're going to get a bunch of babies. I've said it before, last year I kind of blew it because I bred too late in the year. So this year we're on top of it, and hopefully we're going to have a great year. Okay, so now we get into the eastern blue tongue skinks, and these guys are actually what they would call the New South Wales eye-banded blue tongue skinks. And take a look at that. Now these guys are unbelievable because of how dark they are, and I'm hoping that maybe there's some other genetics behind it. You never know. The easterns are where all the melanistics come from, the albinos come from, so who knows, maybe I'll get really lucky. I mean, I doubt it. These ones actually came from Ron Kudo down in Florida, and he actually's had them for many years, and when he produced some babies, I had to snatch them up. And then here's another super dark one. I mean, this one is unbelievably dark, and again, the melanistics are actually a co-dominant, so it's a super form, so the actual hets or co-dominant animals look a lot like this. I'm not saying that these are going to produce melanistics, but I'm saying let's hope they do, because that thing is super dark. And then there's the Hypo Easterns. These are actually a recessive mutation, and I'm pretty excited about these guys. I have a small group of females. I think there's 3 females and 1 male, so hopefully with any luck I'll get some babies from these and produce some Hypo Easterns. Now the thing that's interesting about the Easterns is that they'll have slightly smaller babies and much larger litters. The Northerns typically max out at about 12, although there have been litters of 15, even close to 20, whereas the Easterns will oftentimes have 18 or 20, sometimes even low 20s. So this little chunky monkey here hopefully will have a whole bunch of little little babies. So that's just a small overview of what we're going to be breeding this year in blue tongue skinks. Certainly we have a lot of females and a lot of males, so we're super excited, but the process is a little bit arduous. It's not like snakes where you just throw them together and then they breed, you take them out or whatever. You literally have to put them together, watch them, and males sometimes don't want to breed. Sometimes they will just sit there and do nothing, but when they do want to breed, they'll breed really aggressively, and you can breed them even a couple times a day to different females, but oftentimes they'll only breed for 2 or 3 weeks, so you have a very short window of time to breed these guys. So there's a lot more skill involved in breeding skinks as there is snakes, in my opinion. So I'm going to get Jessica, we're going to pick out a couple animals, we'll throw them together and just get an idea, are they ready to breed? Because again, unlike snakes, you don't breed them just any time. You have to wait till that period of time that they're actually ready to breed. So if they're ready to breed, they're going to breed, and like I said, it's pretty amazing to watch. I'm going to be honest with you, pretty violent, but pretty amazing. So let me explain exactly what we're doing. Jessica, of course, is overseeing all of the skink breeding this year, but what we do is we actually use breeding tubs like this, and we typically put AstroTurf in so that they just have a little bit more traction, so that when the males are chasing the females, they're not slipping around and sliding around. Let's go ahead. These are actually hypos or caramels. Let's put them together and just see how they react to one another.
He's going right to the corner.
So, yeah, and this is the problem with skink breeding, is sometimes it just takes a while. I mean, sometimes you just have to find the right pairing or the male that's ready to breed. And some of the things that you really want to look for is if females will start wagging their tails, and of course, like I said, the males will kind of aggressively kind of sniff them. They'll kind of flicker their tongue, and then eventually start biting them. And that's when you know you have a male and female together. You know, so again, you're just kind of looking for little visual cues to see. Right now, he doesn't seem to be showing any interest. His head's kind of up. He's not sniffing her. But again, what you'll do is you'll give him probably like 5 or 10 minutes of just kind of seeing if he changes his mind. And if he doesn't, we'll do one of two things. We'll just kind of scrap it, or we may even throw another male in and see if the other male is interested. That's just kind of how skink breeding is. It is arduous, and you have to have a lot of patience to get them going, but it is so worth it. We'll just watch after these guys for a few minutes. If they don't go, we'll probably try a different male. Okay, guys, so definitely a no-go. He just doesn't seem to have any interest whatsoever. So we're going to try a different male, and then we're going to also try another group. Okay, male number 2. All right, so we're gonna give these guys a few minutes. Again, doesn't seem to see a lot of interest, so we're gonna try a different group in a breeding cage right next to it. This happens to just be a normal female. We're gonna breed them to one of those high red males and just see what happens. So far, like I said, the caramels and hypos don't have any interest whatsoever. They're just kind of separated and stuff like that. But again, 2 days from now, we could put that same pairing together and they could breed. So that's just kind of how the skink breeding goes. So let's see what happens. Okay, so pairing number 3, a total failure too. So we're gonna just keep on trying. Hopefully we can get a breeding today, but if we don't, we're just gonna keep on trying this through. So again, if you're ever thinking about breeding skinks, it is absolutely amazing, but it is definitely an exercise in patience. The one thing we're gonna try are these Indonesians. They typically do well when it comes to breeding. So we'll put them together and see. They're usually the first breeding of the year for us. Let's hope they breed. Trying to get his tail underneath hers. As soon as she lifts that tail up, he'll be able to breed her. You can see how he's taking that back leg and he's scratching. He's basically telling her, lift that tail up. And there you go, guys. You can see right there. You can actually see he's got his hemipene in right now, breeding her right there. That's a complete lock right there. And he'll be holding on the whole time. And that's it, guys. You see his hemipene will go back in. She's done. He's done. There you go, Jessica.
We got some babies.
The first lock of the year. That's the first lock of the year for Skink. So basically, that's how it goes. That's exactly it. Like I told you, blue tongue skink sex is pretty rough. There you go. That's what it has it. So now we have to just do that process over and over again. And to give you an idea, a female will typically breed 2 or 3 times, and then you're done for the year. And then she becomes gravid, and then she'll have live babies in a few months. So, hey, we're off to a good start. We have a long way to go. All right, so there you have it. We are off to the start of the skink breeding season, as well as the python and boa breeding season. So it is absolutely going to be an exciting few months here, moving down the process, eventually getting pregnant and gravid animals, and getting eggs and babies. I cannot wait to take you guys along on this journey. It's going to be absolutely incredible, and I apologize about my voice. I'm thinking by tomorrow I will be able to talk again like a normal person. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. You guys mean the world to me, and your support is amazing. I love you so much. Can you do me a couple favors, please? Can you smash that like button, as well as turn on those post notifications so you know when I upload a video, which is every day, 7 days a week, at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Remember to be kind to somebody today, and I promise I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully with a voice.